Hey everyone, my name is Nathan Cooper and welcome back to SIS Film Breakdowns. The next player we're going to break down is Ohio State running back J.K. Dobbins. Dobbins put up over 1,000 yards all 3 years for the Buckeyes, and in 2019 became the first player in school history to top the 2,000 yard mark. He also leaves as the school's second leading all-time rusher behind just Archie Griffin. In the NFL draft, Dobbins was selected in the second round by the Ravens at pick number 55 overall. Dobbins measured in at 5 feet 9.5 inches, 209 pounds at the combine. He still wasn't 100% after sustaining an ankle injury in the Fiesta Bowl, so he chose not to fully work out. The only drill he participated in was the bench press, where he recorded 23 reps. Let's see what he can do by taking a look at some plays from his 2018 Rose Bowl against Washington and this past season's games against Wisconsin and Indiana. We're going to start by taking a look at his ability as a runner. The Ravens had the highest percentage of plays run from shotgun last season, so we're going to watch Dobbins out of the shotgun. This first play comes from the Indiana game and has a little bit of everything. It's going to be a stretch run to the left at real speed. After the handoff, he shows good vision to bounce outside and then turn it upfield. Even after a slight stumble, he's able to juke a defender and then breaks away from two more with good burst, and then even shows his power to keep his legs churning as he gets into the end zone for the score. Now let's move to the Wisconsin game. It's going to be another stretch to the left, and we're going to watch it from both angles this time, with the first at real speed. As Dobbins takes the handoff, he shows good speed to get to the outside and then the burst to get through the hole quickly. Once he's one-on-one with the safety, he's able to stick his foot in the ground for a great juke to get by and gain another 10 or so yards. As we slow things down on the tight copy, we can see Dobbins burst through the hole and then get a great look here on the move that he puts on the safety to finish off a big gain here. Staying with the same game, let's look at another stretch play now out to the right. After Dobbins takes the handoff, he sees Chris Orr, who was able to slide by the guard getting into the backfield here. Dobbins shows the power he possesses with a strong stiff arm to put Orr into the ground and then good burst to get upfield. He's able to shrug off another defender on his way inside the 10-yard line to set up first and goal for the offense. We've seen him on the outside, so now let's take a look at the Washington game and see him run in between the tackles. It's an inside zone to the left, and as Dobbins takes the handoff, he shows good vision to cut back to the right and get vertical with great burst through the hole. As we move to the end zone view, we get a really good look at Dobbins as he sticks his foot in the ground and gets vertical quickly, carrying a defender for a few yards and a solid overall gain here on the play. In 2019, Dobbins put up some big numbers on the ground. Carrying the ball over 300 times, Dobbins rushed for 2,003 yards and 21 touchdowns, both of which tied for third in the country. Now let's take a look where those numbers were produced. Dobbins shows productivity no matter where he runs, whether it's gaining tough yardage between the tackles or showcasing his burst and speed to gain the edge and win on the outside. On his 127 rush attempts between the tackles, he averaged nearly 6 yards per rush and produced a positive play 48% of the time with 7 touchdowns. Outside the tackles, he gained a 53% positive play rate overall, while scoring 8 touchdowns running out to the left and averaging over 7.5 yards per carry out to the right. Now let's see what Dobbins can bring to the passing game. This first play is from the Wisconsin game and is just him leaking out of the backfield as a check down. Now once he gets out on the edge, he puts a good move on the linebacker to get by, and once Fields rolls out and sees him, Dobbins is able to go up and get the ball with good strong hands. He makes the catch and then gets upfield with good speed for a solid gain. Let's go back to the Washington game now and see him bring in a swing screen out on the edge. As we run the play, it's a good ball right to the numbers from Haskins, and Dobbins hauls it in cleanly. After the catch, he shows the vision to see his blockers coming out in front of him, so he stops and cuts upfield to get north and south. He lowers his shoulder and lays a good hit on a defender, running him over and gaining some extra yards after contact, as multiple defenders have a tough time bringing him down. Finally, let's go back to the Wisconsin game and see him in pass pro. Now at the snap, he steps up and sees that he has number 54 Chris Orr here. He shows good awareness here as Orr loops to the outside, and Dobbins follows him all the way and steps out and attacks, keeping his body square to the defender. Little things like this are what's going to help him get on the field on third downs. Dobbins has the ability to make things happen through the air as a receiver. Even though he fits better coming out of the backfield, he has the athleticism to line up in the slot and be productive as well. Looking at his numbers from last season as a receiver, he caught 23 of 27 on-target passes for nearly 250 yards and a couple of touchdowns, while producing 8.2 yards per target. The Ravens far and away led the NFL in rushing last season, averaging 206 yards per game on the ground. The second closest was the 49ers with just over 144. It was a historic season for Baltimore as they broke the all-time mark for rushing yards in a season. With the likes of Lamar Jackson and Mark Ingram, who combined to average over 148 yards themselves, the Ravens' rushing attack looks even more scary when Dobbins is added to the mix. Baltimore used a good mixture of zone and gap schemes last season, running a gap scheme 55% of the time and a zone scheme 44% of the time. When looking at Dobbins' positive play rates in those schemes last season, he produced a positive play 48% of the time on gap runs and 51% of the time on zone runs. Look for the Ravens' rushing attack to be a tough one to slow down yet again in 2020. Dobbins needs to improve his overall ability in the passing game by getting a little better in pass pro and eliminating focus drops, but his vision, contact balance, and playmaking ability as a runner will allow him to play early and often for a dynamic Ravens rushing attack. Make sure to go get the SIS Football Rookie Handbook or register for a free trial on the SIS DataHub to see all of these stats and more for every player, and also tune in each week to the Off the Charts podcast. Thanks for watching SIS Film Breakdowns.